Right. Good evening, everyone. We'll get started with this webinar. Rajesh sir, over to you.
Thank you, Shreyas, and good evening, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to have all of you on a Saturday evening. It's always good to be back among the NITK fraternity, and especially when we are here to talk about a little bit about NITKonnect 2026. For some of you who may have attended this event in the past, you know that how the event has been shaping up and kind of growing by leaps and bounds. So in true startup parlance, I can say that this being the fifth edition, we have definitely moved away from being a early stage startup to a growth stage startup ourselves, right? As a NITKonnect per se. It is the flagship event of the NITK Surathkal Alumni Association Bangalore chapter. And the interesting part, of course, is as this event has progressed, and I've been associated with the event for the last 4 editions. Okay, by way of introduction, my name is Rajesh Gopal. I'm from the 91 batch. The first edition of NITKonnect happened to be, in one of the beehives, and then subsequently it's kind of moved from beehive to a much larger venue at Nimhan's center, and for the last 2 years and this year included, it will be at Taj Yeshwantpur. So from an audience base of about 200 people, it's already touched the 1,000 mark. So we are actually in rapid growth stage, truly speaking. And here are some numbers just for you to look through, but I will spend maybe in the next 30 seconds just to give you a sense of why we are doing this. The purpose of the NITKonnect is essentially to provide a platform for the alumni to connect in a meaningful and a purposeful manner, going beyond the typical nostalgia related meets that all of us have. And there are enough and more occasions for us to meet as a batch, or maybe reunions and so on and so forth. So we wanted to make this as a event which can actually help alumni in multiple ways. Over the years, through a combination of plenary sessions, sector huddles, the startup, the top 5, which is now morphed into a startup showcase, which Shreyas will talk about in detail. And last year we experimented with the Career Connect. Now these are all attempts to help alumni to, as I said, connect in a meaningful way, make connections which can actually result probably in business. For some of the younger alums, provide opportunities for them to explore new career opportunities, maybe do career transitions, and for some of the older alumni to actually see how they could expand their business. Now, this year's edition is coming up on the 21st of February 2026 at Taj Yeshwantpur. Needless to say, we are poised to actually expand on the numbers that we have had over the years. So what you see here, obviously, when we write a postscript of the event, these numbers will be much bigger than what you're seeing. Now, with those quick kind of comments, I'll hand it back to Shreyas, who's going to tell us about how this new team has reimagined the Startup Showcase. Over to you, Shreyas.
Thank you so much, Rajesh sir. Good evening, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining in these large numbers. Let me just go on to the presentation and begin with what we want to show you today. So last 2 editions of NITKonnect have been a participant, and each edition, one of the things that I've really seen is the way in which the bar has been raised. So I'm really looking forward to NITKonnect 2026. This time I'm on the other side trying to organize this very unique format, which we are calling as Startup Showcase. By way of introduction, I'm from the batch of 2010 IT. I've been very interested in doing something on the startup front right from my college days. I was very actively involved in the entrepreneurship club back at NITK. And in fact, I started my first venture in the year 2015. Somewhere the roots of my entrepreneurship began at NITK with a lot of involvement of the community back there. This journey that I started way back in 2015, I started with a company called Zwayam, which was in the HR tech space. Ran the company for about 7 years, had a decent exit. In fact, we exited to a company called Naukri, had a 3-year transition period. And after that 3-year transition period, I ventured into my next startup, the current one, which is called Sensible. Again, this is a venture that I'm doing in the HR tech space. In fact, just yesterday, I completed 1 year of this venture. When I look back at my startup journey, especially the first one, I think one of the biggest regret that I have is I never really did a good job of leveraging the NITK community. And this time, when I've started Sensible, I really want to see how I can leverage the community better. And I've already had the opportunity and the privilege to interact with so many of you community members through very informal channels. Whenever I've needed some advice, of course, when I was transitioning from Swayam, trying to create something new, there was always somebody that I could talk to from the NITK network, from somebody senior to say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think about it? When I actually started, and all of us, some of us are, aspiring startup founders here. Some of us are established startup founders here. You know that sometimes you need that shoulder to cry on. That is where I've had a lot of people from the network support me. Not just that, in fact, the office space that I've currently taken is also because somebody from NITK helping me to say, hey, there is this office space, I have some spare capacity. Why don't you come and take a look? Even including the fact that today, in today's world, partnerships are very important for the success of a startup. And many partnerships that we've created today at Sensible is a result of knowing somebody from the NITK community and them helping me out. So where I'm coming to is we've always had some of these informal channels where we've benefited from each other because of this larger community. And this time our attempt is really to see how we can formalize this network into something in which we create an ecosystem by the startups, for the startups, and involving the angels. Now I'll go to what we're trying to do with the startup showcase format. I think some of you who've been part of NITKonnect for its previous editions, all of you would be familiar with this concept we used to call till last year as the top 5. So essentially, we had a set of startups apply to NITKonnect top 5, where we would shortlist a set of startups and we would make them go through a very rigorous jury screening. And then they would get an opportunity to pitch on the main stage. Now, with this foundation that we created last year, what we want to do this year in 2026 is really evolve beyond just a pitch event. So till last year, you would apply, you would get shortlisted. Obviously, a very stellar jury would look at your business model, look at whether there is potential for you to grow, and then shortlist you to pitch. This time, we want to go beyond that. We want to create this ecosystem play, formalize some of the aspects that I spoke about, and we are looking at 3 significant pillars to be doing that, which is on your screen right now. The first aspect is we want to see how we can go beyond just the top 5, include many more startups to come into the fray and ensure that they are getting significant value from this platform. So what we want to do is invite any NITK startup, whether it's an NITK student-led startup or an alumni-led startup, to apply to this showcase event and ensure that once you've applied, you get that value, whether it is connecting you with talent, whether it is connecting you with capital, whether it is connecting you with potential customers, or even the aspect of mentorship. Second thing that we want to do, and whenever we create a marketplace, there has to be startups and there has to be the aspect of angels as well. This time, we really want to work with all of you from the community to activate our angel network to help our startups on 2 things. Of course, for a startup to really grow, there is that growth capital that is required. But outside that growth capital, there is also that mentorship element that is very, very essential. And within the community, we have so many people who've been at senior leadership positions, either in corporates or in startups. And they are the right individuals to guide us startups in these directions, which is where we angel network to also come in. That aside, we don't want this to just be focused on the NITKonnect theme. We want to create a sustained engagement that begins prior to NITKonnect, which begins when you actually apply and the application window has already begun. which goes to NITKonnect as its crescendo and continues beyond NITKonnect, where we are trying to really engage, make sure we are facilitating connections, make sure we are helping you out on that funding conversation and ensuring eventual success of your venture. So that in a nutshell is what we are looking at with respect to our renewed vision. I'll just go into the next aspect of how is it that we are trying to create this value for startups. Before that, let me just quickly publish the results of the poll to see what sort of audience we have today. So we seem to have a decently diverse audience. We have some founders at an early stage, some founders at a revenue stage, some angel investors as well, and some people who are just here to find out more about today's event. So what I'll try and do in the rest of the slides is tune the message to make it relevant to all the groups that are here today so that you can find value from this webinar and even otherwise from this entire format. So coming to what we are trying to do with startups. There are 4 pillars that we're focusing on when it comes to the startup value proposition. As a startup, you need the right access to capital. You need the right visibility and recognition so that you can find the right mentors, you can find the right customers, you can basically grow. The third aspect is how do we connect you to the right networks, the right mentors, the right industries, so that you know what's going on within your specific vertical and your line of business, and you have the unfair advantage of that. And lastly, like I've said some time back, how do we create value for whoever is participating as a startup to say, today I've applied to the Startup Showcase. As a result of Startup Showcase, I at least got some sort of mentorship, some sort of access to capital, some visibility. So that is the right stepping stone for my success. And the way we do that, I'll go into each of these pillars one by one. The first aspect is how do we help you with access to capital? And what we want to do as part of Startup Showcase is really wanting to make this forum, this platform, the most direct path to funding within the NITK ecosystem. So like last year, the first aspect of this is we will continue to have top tier VCs who participate in this entire process, both as jury members and people who are interested in funding your ventures. And we will give you that face time, that presentation time in front of some of these VCs. That aside, this time, one of the cornerstones of this entire initiative is ensuring that we have the right set of angels on board, where you as a startup get a chance to pitch to some of these angels and facilitate conversations that eventually lead towards funding too. We are also creating something called a top startups pack. So we will create a curated investment deck that contains your startup profile, where you are in your journey, what is your USP, and we will then circulate this to our entire database of NITK angels and to VCs who might be interested in funding you. That aside, this time we are also thinking of doing cash prizes, where for some of the startups who get the chance to pitch on the main stage, we will have prize money included as well. Now, quickly moving on, the second pillar that I wanted to cover is the entire aspect of visibility and recognition. The high profile main stage pitch that we've been having from the previous editions, that continues as is. But that aside, this time we are curating an amazing property called the Startup Pavilion. I'll talk to you about that in a bit, where there are further opportunities for you to pitch your idea and do that in a slightly more informal setting too. That aside, we are also doing our official awards like what we used to do last time, where you get this badge of NITKonnect Top Startup, which you can very proudly showcase on your digital channels and your social media. Then the other aspect that we want to do is really encourage NITK founders, for which we are creating something called a Founder Spotlight series, where some of the shortlisted startups, we will talk, interact with you as a founder, understand your founder philosophy, understand why you're very unique and why your idea is really going to stand out, and profile you in a series of posts so that that can reach the wider community and create the right interest level. So this is what we're trying to do when it comes to the second pillar on visibility and recognition. Quickly moving forward to the third aspect, which is on the entire aspect of mentorship and industry network. This is where I was also alluding to in the start of the presentation to say, for you to really grow, I think sometimes you need the right support, the right mentorship, the right guidance. there will always be some people who've been there, done that, who might be able to guide you. I remember in my first journey, one of the ways in which I learned was try 10 experiments. Sometimes 8 of those will fail, 2 of them will be a success. But that is not the only way to do things right? One of the things that I missed during that time was really going to the right mentors and asking them to say, hey, will this work? And this is one thing that we want to see how we can facilitate for some of you startups to ensure that this works. In order to do that, we are thinking of a curated set of items here. The first aspect being, and I'll talk to you about the Startup Pavilion in a bit. At the Startup Pavilion, which is a physical space at the NIT-Konnect event, we will do one-on-one curated sessions where you can book meetings with fellow participants. And within our network, there is an amazing and stellar panel of VCs, CXOs, angels. This time for NIT-Konnect, we are also doing digital enablement through a mobile app. Some of you who've already signed up for NIT-Konnect might have got access to that already. Those of you who've not signed up, I highly urge you to go ahead, register for NIT-Konnect, because this time there is this wonderful mobile app, and that mobile app will help you with networking even before the actual event. The second aspect to this is access to talent. So another format, another segment within NIT-Konnect is something which we call as a Career Connect program. And if you as a startup, if you're looking to hire talent, whether that be interns or full-time talent that you're looking to hire, you will get an opportunity to pitch that within the Career Connect segment at NIT-Konnect. That aside, I'll talk to you in detail about the Startup Pavilion, which is a new concept. This time at Taj Yeshwanthpur, which is the venue for NIT-Konnect, we have a dedicated, curated, large space where we do a startup expo for all of you who are wanting to participate and showcase what we have in store for us. Within the Startup Pavilion, we will also do curated network zones where you can do informal meets either over breakfast or over lunch. That helps you with better networking and better interactions. The fourth pillar, like I said, we really want to widen our reach, ensure that if you are a startup that has applied, there is some tangible takeaway for you from this entire effort that you've put in to apply. And the way we do that is by helping you definitely with constructive feedback. Every startup that applies, depending upon where you reach the journey, we will ensure we will let you know what are the aspects where you've done well, what are the areas of improvement, so that you can come back stronger in the subsequent years as part of the entire NITK community. That aside, I've briefly spoken about the mobile app. This time within the mobile app, we have a wonderful section called the Startup Profile. As soon as you sign up on the mobile app, you can create your own startups profile. You can tell the rest of the community, the rest of the participants at NIT-Konnect on what your startup is about. You can also tell them if you're exhibiting as part of the Startup Pavilion to say, hey, this is me, this is my startup, this is what I do. And in turn, angels who are interested in your idea, they can book meetings with you, they can have conversations with you. So that way the networking can begin and the matchmaking can begin even before you meet each other in person at NIT-Konnect. And I was building towards this slide, which is the Startup Pavilion, which is a very unique physical space that we are curating at the NIT-Konnect venue, where this is a dedicated startup zone. Think of this as an exhibition expo area, but specifically meant for startups, where you will have an opportunity, if you're a startup, to put a small startup stall to say, hey, this is me, this is my startup. There you can either do a product demo. There, if you're in this lookout for customers, you can pitch to potential customers. If you're looking for mentorship, if you're looking for angels, you can have conversations with them. That aside, we are also doing something called a launchpad stage. So imagine a smaller stage at this venue within the Startup Pavilion, where we can do rolling product demos, we can do elevator pitches. There will be some, place where you can sit and talk to angels as well. And that is what we're doing here. There will also be a few curated meeting spaces, which is small pods to have focused one-on-one conversations that helps you really move beyond general networking. So that is what we have in store this time, a renewed vision on the startup front, many exciting things to look forward to. But one of the things that I want to do next is invite Shashwat from the team. He is also part of our organizing team for Startup Showcase. He has been able to get one of our previous participants. His name is Sujith. He leads a company called LeanWatts. Sujith was a participant last year, and let's hear from Shashwat on the experiences that Sujith has had as part of his participation at NIT Connect. Over to you, Shashwat.
Thank you, Shreyas. I'm Shashwat, currently part of organizing team of NITK Startup Showcase 2026. I work as investment analyst in a VC firm called Prospect Innovation. We have with us Sujith Kumar. Welcome, Sujith. He is an NITK alumni and co-founder of
Right.
LeanWatts, uh, who have participated in last year's edition of NITK Startup 2025. So I'll spend few minutes with Sujit to get a view on participants from last edition.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
Sujit.
Hello. Yeah. Thanks. Hello. Hi. Thanks for introducing me. Thanks for this opportunity as well.
Could you start with a short introduction of yourself and the
Yeah.
company which you have
Sure.
founded?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Before that, Shreyas, really excited about this year's event. It seems there's a lot of background work that is going on, and I love the way this is really getting shaped up. I am excited to participate this time again. Coming back to who I am, so from the origins, from I've passed out of NITK from 2013. After that, I would say I'm an early entrepreneur now. Although the roots, as Shreyas uh, shared, or again go back to NITK only. Even for me, I worked in corporate for a while in between, and then I've done my MBA where my entrepreneurship spirit has even further got strengthened. And this company I've formed along with my couple of other friends. It was incorporated in October 2022, although the operation started in January 2023. In a snapshot, we at LeanWatts, we are a power electronics company focused in the EV and renewables space. So basically, these are the upcoming spaces, rapidly growing, industries, especially in our country, and there is a huge gap in the R&D in the power electronics. So our core team, we've had an experience working in the EV space, and we found a gap in the chargers to start with. The chargers which are currently there in the two-wheeler segment, three-wheeler segment, or the light electric vehicles, most of them, majority of them were not getting manufactured in India. Forget the design part. So we started to address this exactly the same. We worked on the core platform, the core design, and then kind of made it modular and started expanding into multiple vehicle segments. Started with the two-wheeler segment. Now we have even catering to tractor OEMs as well. So that is what we are. And our core thesis is that wherever there is power conversion, whether it is AC to DC or DC to AC, we want to put up products there. We've started with chargers, rectifiers. Now we have ventured into hybrid inverters as well. That is where we are right now.
Thank you, Sujit. So could you also share your experience from last year's participation and how NITKonnect Showcase has helped you the progress with
Yeah.
LeanWatts?
Yes, yeah. So I was LeanWatts was part of one of the top 5 startups who got the opportunity to showcase at NITKonnect. Uh, in a nutshell, I would say when we were there, we were at an early stage. It was typically last January, last Feb. Our company, our product was proved with couple of OEMs. We have started getting slow revenue, but it was quite in the early stage by last January. That is when I've gotten about NITKonnect, and in a nutshell, I would say our journey has been before NITKonnect and after NITKonnect, because the kind of leverage I was able to do in terms of be it connecting to multiple angels, VCs, even I'm able to right now build partnerships with a couple of our our alums, and for that matter, it's kind of a homecoming for me as well, because now I'm connected to the college as well, and we are working with the college and handovering, giving certain projects to the students and multiple faculty there. I'll tell you the background of it. So basically, for us to get into this business, right, we have to continuously do the R&D on the power electronics side. At the same time, for any successful, for any startup or any company, getting the revenue and doing the R&D parallelly is a challenge. That is rightfully so getting addressed. In a way, the highlights of it would be we are now an official partner with a company called VDeal. They are into electric panel manufacturing, founded by Mr. Dheeraj Kochar. He was 2000 alum, I believe, and he's entering into public charges, and we are a rectifier manufacturer. So there was a natural, relationship that could be established. In fact, he's also, I think I can disclose it. He's also one of our investors. He is he's putting about 10 to 12% of the fund that we are trying to raise. In fact, through his network, again, we are able to close almost 50% of the revenue, 50% of the fundraise. I'm sorry. So on the fundraise, this NITK Connect has been very useful. On the business side, I'm already engaging with Mr. Dheeraj, where he'll be taking rectifiers from us. And on the R&D side, right, we have to continuously do the R&D, and I've had certain alums who are actively supporting me in tying up with the college, and we are working with Center for Defense Systems, Center for Design Systems at the college, and there is Center for Interdisciplinary Systems, there is Center for Research. We are trying to work with all these departments, and also with another assistant prof in civil department, handing over multiple projects. We're working on a wireless charger, we're working on a charger plus DC-DC plus motor controller. Multiple product developments for our products for our future stage are already being getting developed, or I would say initiatives have been started. Slowly this will probably turn into an official partnership with NITK as well on the R&D side. And on the talent side, we've, through these obvious connections with the college and meeting different departments, we are trying to find out certain talent who are very good in power electronics and slowly hire them or maybe absorb them into our company. So this is what is happening in a nutshell. It is before NITK Connect and after NITK Connect for me, be it in terms of the investments, be it in terms of the business, be it in terms of the R&D and partnerships and other collaborations. This is a great platform. I would say I'm so thankful that so glad that I've participated in the last year's event.
I personally am, and I'm sure all the NITKians are very happy with the progress. Based on your experience, why would you encourage a founder to apply for Startup Showcase this time around?
Yes, I think I've kind of already built up to it, that for all your functions in the company that you're trying to build, be it getting the investments, be it getting connects with the clients, or entering into strategic partnerships, any business would need partners, and our alumni network is a vast network. It's an extraordinary closely connected network, I would say. Very few institutes have this kind of entrepreneurship network, or alumni network for that matter. So the network, getting the customers, getting the investors, even getting the talent on all the sections, you have kind of a platter in front of you, and this NIT Connect is setting the stage for it, and I'm glad that it is even getting more formalized. And as I think Sir was also mentioning, even NITK Connect is in a moved from an early stage to now kind of a growth stage. So this is really a great platform for any founder to start with on all the fronts.
I'm sure the value propositions coming from the organizers is one thing, but validating it from the one who have benefited is the encouragement for all the startup founders who are even thinking of applying. This is the stage where you should and must apply to your and the ecosystem benefit.
Before closing, I would say that when we were there in the beginning, in the last NIT Connect, we were a small, early revenue stage company. Now, with the investments that have materialized, there are multiple other customers that have converted. Now we are in a growth phase. We are establishing our own factory right now. In the next couple of months, we are moving to a bigger facility with our own integrated R&D and factory, where the whatever we wanted to achieve, manufacturing the products actually in India, is getting materialized in the next couple of months. So in a way, we have progressed a lot in the last 1 year. Yeah.
Thank you, Sujith. I hope we get a lot of LeanWatts this year. So I'll hand over to Shreyas to take it up.
Sure. Thank you, Shashwat, and thanks a lot for that feedback, Sujith. I think really heartening to see where you're in your journey, and obviously you're in that stage of growth. So always remember that you have all of us cheering for you from the sidelines. So all the best in your journey, and like Shashwat said, looking forward to inviting you again this time as part of the renewed Startup Showcase.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much, Shreyas.
Thank you so much. So before I move forward, I will do one quick poll for all the startup founders that are there on this call. Let me just try and do this. I'm also trying to use this webinar app for the first time, so pardon me if there are a few glitches here. I hope all of you can see this poll up on screen, which is asking you on your biggest bottleneck right now as a startup founder. And what is interesting for us as part of the organizing committee is to try and understand really what is it that this cohort that has joined us today on the call and part of the larger community that is building out there, what are some of the challenges, bottlenecks they face, so that we can curate this format better, so that we can curate what we do, not just at NITKonnect, but overall in this sustained engagement better, and see how we can take feedback from some of this. So I can see the responses coming in, and some of you are talking about market access, access to customers. Some of you are talking about the mentorship, strategic guidance. Many of you are talking about the funding or cash flows, and hiring co-founder matching as well. I think one aspect that we did not focus on well enough in the earlier part was this access to customers or market, right? Typically, as any startup that is just getting off the ground, and many of you who've joined us from the NITK campus today, who are aspiring entrepreneurs or who've just gotten into that idea stage, will relate to. When you take your product to the market, that is where it really stands the test of time. And that is where you need the first set of anchor customers. I remember back in my journey at building Zoem as well, and now building Sensible, there were that initial anchor set of customers that really believed in first the individual or the founding team, and then the idea, and then the offering. So it's very important that at this early stage, you get the right access to some of these customers. And that's an endeavor that we try and create through this platform, because there are many other common factors. We are all part of the larger NITK community. There are better trust levels. And if you're able to find that anchor customer, you also co-develop your platform, your offering, and that helps you make a stronger product or stronger service, whatever you're building. So I think that is one other aspect that we really want to see how we can help a lot of startups that have joined us today and that will join us as part of Startup Showcase this year. I've seen many more answers come in. Let me just quickly publish the result. I don't know if you guys are able to see this on screen. Please give me a quick thumbs up if you can see this. Doesn't look like the results are visible. I'll just read it out. So 25% of you have said we value the funding cash flow aspect, and that is my biggest bottleneck right now. 10% of you have voted that we need to find the right co-founders, we need to hire the right talent. 30% of you have said I need the right access to markets or customers. And 35% have said we need the right mentorship, strategic guidance. So I think diverse opinions coming in, diverse bottlenecks that all of you are fighting to solve for. And hopefully we will try and make sure that you get the right connects for some of these things during Startup Showcase. Having said that, I'll quickly go into the presentation because this time what we're trying to do different is also involve the larger angel community. And I quickly want to show what we're doing differently, what we're doing uniquely for our angel network this time. So let me just share my screen again and take you to those slides. I hope my screen is visible again. Perfect. So in a nutshell, this is what we're trying to do with respect to the angel investor value proposition. Again, centered it around 4 pillars. The first aspect is, as an NITK angel, one of the things that you would value is a high quality deal flow, which comes in from a pipeline of startups like Sujith and many others who've been able to achieve that rapid growth, constantly building and trying to do something different and trying to create that impact and difference. And we want to see how you could also contribute in helping some of these startups. So that is where this time we want to empower you with a very high quality deal flow. The second aspect which makes the entire engagement interesting is we will do a series of pitch events, which is a curated pitch day. We call it Investor Konnect. I'll show you how this format will work in the subsequent slides. The third aspect is, of course, we are all part of this larger NITK community, and we will try and create a structured platform as a long-term vision so that you can co-invest on your own terms with either your batchmates, your friends, people who are part of the same industry vertical, and so on and so forth. The fourth aspect, and this is an aspect I'm sure many of our senior alumni really relate to, this also helps create that formal channel where you can give back, you can mentor the next generation and build that lasting impact. I specifically relate to this aspect. When I was building, there were many people, some NITK, some non-NITK, that whose inputs really benefited me in building what I did. And I would also want to see how I can give back to the larger community and see how we can grow the next generation of startups together. So what are we doing specifically for angels this time? This is the most interesting concept that is out there, and we want to do the right justice to it this time. We are just launching. We call this as the Investor Konnect, so which is a series of pitch events that we do in a virtual mode, where we will do about 3 sessions. There are some ground rules where there'll be about a 10 to 15-minute pitch, a curated set of maybe 4 to 5 startups in each session. Immediately after we do the session, we reach out to all the angels, ask them to indicate startups that they're interested in. And then our team, the NITKonnect team, the Startup Showcase team, helps with compilations, helps with the initial facilitations, and then does the warm introduction to some of these startups. Then it depends really, sometimes as startup founders, it's very difficult to, I don't think we should help you out in each of these steps. We can take sometimes the horse to the water, but then it is the onus on the startup founder to ensure that some of these deals convert by talking to the angel investors themselves. And we leave that last step right now with the startup founders themselves. We are planning to do this in 3 tracks. The first one being the future founders, those that are at a very early idea stage. And there might be some angels, some investors who might like to mentor, who might like to take that risk on somebody who's at a very initial idea stage, but trying to think of something revolutionary. And if things align, then they get connected. The second aspect is early stage companies, where we have a set of early stage companies that have shown some initial traction, that have shown some initial set of customers, and we try to see how we can take them forward and help them with that right growth capital. The third one is revenue stage companies. So we will do a session where some of these revenue stage companies that have had some sort of market validation pitch to angels, and angels that are interested in investing in these sort of companies that have some established business models can participate and show interest. So this is what we're trying to do with the set of angels that we have on board. We will very shortly introduce a set of sessions for people who are interested in becoming part of this angel network. There will be an angel intake form that we published today, and there's a community that we are creating on WhatsApp where the angels can also join. So with that, I think I'll just put another poll for some of the angels that are there on this call and try and understand where they're in this journey. Just give me one quick second. I hope the poll is visible to all of you on the screen. We are asking you, where are you in your angel investing journey? Some of you might be veteran angel investors. Some of you might just be the first timer. Some of you might have done some occasional investments, and some of you might be interested to mentor. So for each of you, we will have something where we connect you with the right set of startups to take things forward. I'm just seeing some of the votes coming in. So 60%, now it's 40% of you saying I'm a first-time investor. So definitely one of the things that we have in mind is to guide or ease a first-time investor to say, this is typically how angel investing works. What are the do's and don'ts? What are the ways in which you get initiated into this process? And we are planning one session for some of you folks. A lot of mentors also, and veterans too. Let me just quickly publish the result. I hope this is visible on screen. So we have a good blend of angels and mentors, and hopefully a lot of our NITK startups will benefit from your guidance and your capital. So with that, I've handed over to Shravya from the team, who will tell you a bit more about some of the timelines we are looking at, some of the milestones that we will look towards, and overall how the engagement will look like for both startups and for angels. So Shravya, over to you. Let me just share my screen again so that the presentation is visible.
Thank you, Shreyas. I hope I'm audible to everybody. So this is a project that all of us are really excited about, and it comes from somewhere a place close to our heart. We want this to succeed for the startups, for the angels, and for us all. So we have curated a timeline that we thought would take you through a journey. Okay, so even people at an early stage can benefit for it, people at the revenue stage can benefit for it, and of course we angels also can find good startups to mentor. So let me first take you to the startup showcase timeline. We will be opening up the applications this today itself, and for the people who are in the early stage, we want to help you get all the help you need, even if you want to pitch. So we are having a few webinars. One of the things that we are planning is the pitching webinar, because like I said, we are aiming at people at very different stages, and we want to bring everyone to the highest level and give the opportunity for them to present their best self. So we want to have a pitching one-on-one webinar exclusive for the startups who apply, so that they will be ready for the pitch events, they will be ready to connect with the angels, and they know what it is, to put their best feet forward. So this is one of the programs that we have planned for the startup, and this is the intention behind it. And once we go through the startups, we will be separating them into 3 tracks, so that each track can get the benefit that they need at that stage. So like Shreyas mentioned, we have the really early stage startups, and we have the startups in the growth stage, and we also have startups in the pre-revenue stage. So each of these startups requires something different, and we want to focus on what is right for you. And like I said, Shreyas mentioned, we will be creating profiles, and we will have a matchmaking service of sorts, where you can get as many mentors, or like as many connects as possible, either through mentorships or through opportunities like getting interns or getting resources. We have a lot of things planned even for that, and all the benefits for you will be available through the app that NITK Connect team is developing. And we will create all these startup profiles before the event, so that on the day of the event, you will have an opportunity to connect with many interested parties. So like we explained earlier, we still want to focus on felicitating the top startups this year, that is vetted through experienced investors and angels, and that part will continue to remain the same. We will give a main stage place for you to have an elevator pitch, but more than that, we want to have a place for everyone. So we want to have scheduled startup demonstrations, we want to have elevator pitches, and we want to have an exclusive networking area and time that 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 is, I think, is the best, how do I say, that is the best benefit that you can get, because the visibility is always more important than any prize or any award, right? And we want to have this at our NITKonnect, and not just stop there, but even have a follow-up after the NITKonnect event, so that they can get as much benefit out of this program as possible. So this is about the startup showcase and how it benefits the founders, but we'll also take you through how the angels can benefit. So like we discussed, founders are at different stages, we have angels also at different stages. So we want to help them understand what angel investing is, and we will be hosting a webinar for the angels also. This is so that you can start off your journey and understand how you can contribute. You may think that, I'm just so and so, I may not have something that would benefit something, but you would be surprised as to what startups really want, right? And even, having a domain knowledge or having some experience or some connects will benefit them. And this is a way we can give back to our NIT community, and this is a way to boost the founders and also get new experiences, because as an angel, it is not just about mentorship, it is also about your own growth in this process. So like I said, this is the beginning stage where we are getting people onto the same level, and then we'll host our Investor Konnect series through the 3 tracks that we discussed earlier. And on the day of the event, we will guarantee some networking space for you where you can see the product demos of the startups which have a POC. We can see the elevator pitches of different startups, and you can have an informal setting where you can understand and approach these startups so that you can see where you can add value to the startups. And as if you are a registered investor, you will get the updates on time, because we are focused on getting the connects. We are trying to focus on matching the right people to your industry knowledge, or like startups which would be up in your lane, right? So that is what we are trying to do for the angels. Try to find the best match for you guys. And then again, post NITK Connect event, we will have social media profiles, and we will have a way for you to interact with the startups on a regular basis. And we will help support the investment conversations, and we'll get you access to the top startup pack as early as possible. So you guys will be at the forefront of all the news and all the updates, and that is something that we want to facilitate through this program.
Thank you for that, Shubhya. I think we want you to get involved today. If you're a startup, if you're excited with what you've heard, we want you to see how you can apply. And we're creating a community for startups. There's a WhatsApp group. I'm sure some of you are already part of it. If you scan the code on the right, you can join that WhatsApp community. This is the WhatsApp community where you get real-time updates on what's happening with the application process, real-time updates on which are the VCs participating, who are the angels participating, what sort of sectors are they interested in, what sort of companies are they interested in, what sort of startups are they interested in, how do you create a better startup profile on the mobile app. These are things where we share as the organizing committee. We will share some tips and tricks on how you can get yourself showcased better at NITKonnect. If you're ready to take that plunge, if you're ready to apply today, the QR code on the left is for you. Scan that code, fill out that form, hoping to see many, many more applications than what we've got in the yesteryears, hoping to help create much wider and deeper impact and deeper value to every startup that applies. So hopefully we see a lot of applications coming in. And personally, me and the entire team is very enthusiastic, very excited to work with all the startups from NITK to see how we can really propel them to the next level in whichever way possible, depending upon really what you're looking for. So get involved today. If you're a startup, please scan these QR codes. And if you're an angel, we have something for you. We have the angel interest form that we are publishing today onwards. Scan the QR code on the left if you are interested, willing to give back either as an angel, either as a mentor. I'm sure we will be able to connect you with something that is very interesting. And I'm sure you will have that urge to give back to the NITK community and to other startups and help them grow. If you also want to know what's happening on the Angel Network, some updates, webinars, as Shravya said, we are planning to host a set of webinars And today on this call, we have many angels who are getting into this journey for the very first time. We will help ease you into this journey. Join the group. We will have a lot of relevant updates for you, a lot of relevant sessions, so that you can get started with this journey at NITKonnect Startup Showcase. With that, I think we have covered what we wanted to cover today. The entire team is there on call. This is me, Shreyas, 2010. We have Shravya, 2014. We have Abhishek from the team. We have our guardian angel, Rajesh sir, from 1990. And we have Shashwat from the 2024 batch. So this is us. We are we have entrepreneurs in the team. We have VCs. We have experienced folks who've been there, done that. Anything that you need, whether you're an angel, whether you're a startup, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We have an email address that we've created. It is startups@nitkonnect.com. Please write to us. Apart from that, do follow all our social handles at NITKonnect, whether it be on LinkedIn or other social platforms, so that you're updated on any sort of updates, whether it be Startup Showcase, whether it be any other format. Apart from that, I think we have very interesting sessions coming up as part of the build up to our NITKonnect event. The next one that I'm really looking forward to is this session that we are hosting, which is called From India to the World. We have a really stellar panel on the 13th of December. Very successful entrepreneurs. We have Ravi Aital, who's the founder of Netscope. We have KK Krishnakumar, founder of Simply Learn. We have Aprameya from Taxi for Sure and Co. And we have Arjun from Eximpay. So a really good panel, really interesting discussion that we will see on the 13th, which is the build up to the larger NITKonnect event, where I think we will all benefit from some of the learnings that each of these startup entrepreneurs have had in their respective journeys. So I'm looking forward to this. With that, I think we come to a close. We will dedicate some time for Q&A to see if you have some questions. And Abhishek, if you could help us with some of the questions that have come here, maybe we could start answering those. So the first question that I see on the chat is, what is the definition of an early stage growth startup as per the panel? This is a question by Vinay. Thank you, Vinay, for asking this. The way that I would look at it, Vinay, is when we define early stage, any startup which is possibly less than 1 year into its journey, just finding its feet with respect to a product market fit, revenue, traction, and so on and so forth. That is what we will classify as an early stage startup. Anything which has gone slightly beyond that, maybe with respect to tenure, more than a year plus in operations, maybe a set of customers that they've already got on board, and they're looking for the next stage of growth, is what we will sort of classify as a growth stage startup at Startup Showcase. So the next question that I'll just quickly take up, and there is a whole bunch of questions, so I'm also just scanning through. To participate in the showcase, does the startup need to be registered? Or if the product is in development stage, is it also fine? So to participate in the Startup Showcase format, we need you to fill up the application form. When you fill up the application form, you can also tell us what you're interested in. For example, is the Startup Pavilion something that excites you, interests you because you want to get that right visibility to potential customers, if you want to have those curated one-on-one mentorship sessions and so on and so forth. So when you register, you can tell us your area of interest, whether it be mentorship, whether it be funding, whether it is that main stage pitch or something else altogether. And there are some open text fields where you can indicate that. So that is how we will also try and curate your experience. The next question that we've got from Sukumar is, could you share the mobile app? The mobile app has just been launched some time back, about a week or so. Whenever you go onto nitkonnect.com and register as a participant for the NITKonnect event this year, you get access to this mobile app where you can start building your profile and find startups that you would like to interact with. The next question is from Vivekanand that I'll take. Could we just participate in the Showcase Pavilion if you're not seeking any funding immediately? Yes, Vivekanand. If you feel the reason you want to participate this time is not for funding, just for me to showcase what I have on board, put a stall out there, then you could definitely do that, and that will help you with a very curated experience. There's a question on, do you mind sharing the email again? I think I have a slide on that. We are startups@nitkonnect.com. Just trying to see if there is any other question that I've missed out. Guys, please feel free to ask if there is anything more, or you could write to us as well or join one of our communities to stay in touch. I think we seem to be good. And, just some final parting thoughts before we wrap up. I think I just want to take us back to where I started. It really took me years to realize that this NITK network was a real unfair advantage that I missed in my first venture. This time with NITKonnect 2026 with Startup Showcase, we are wanting to create that right infrastructure, that right ecosystem. So you don't have to learn that lesson the hard way. So whether you're that founder looking for your first check, whether you're that angel investor looking to make your first investment, I think this platform is ready for you. So please come forth, give us the right support, give our startups the right support. If you're an angel, please come on board. We are there for you. With that, I think we'll close the session today. Thanks a lot for all the participation. Special thanks to Sujith for joining us and sharing his incredible story of what he's building at LeanWatts. And hoping to see many of you at NITKonnect, even before NITKonnect and after that, and hoping to see many more entrepreneurs come through as part of this initiative. So thanks a lot, guys, and see you all very soon. Thank you so much.